This place got a new face, killing Joe's face. Got a Joe thing, chilling in a new fade. Blue space in a new place, what did he say? He done tic-tac, feeling like a true play. Step back and I never say no. I was winning over there, now I'm running out of flow. Got a feeling in the air, but I'm feeling kinda low. Got a ceiling over here, and I think it's gonna blow. Hey, this place got a new face, killing Joe's face.
Yeah. Yo. I'm trying to check my sound levels. In case you didn't know, it's time for another show. I'm Aquarian OG, and you should get to know me because I want to know what you watching. Yo, today's show is going to be a short video on an introduction, kind of going into where I'm going to segue into from the last video. Last video, we talked about guns, kind of started touching into getting in on that with like gun laws and yada, just incidents. This one is going more into how easy it is to get guns and how easy it is to make guns and why gun laws are not going to, we're going to go into more of why gun laws are not working. They just ain't. I mean, they are to the lawful, but they're not to the unlawful. You're only punishing one side of the people. That's why they ain't gonna work. Because you'll have more innocent people deciding to go wrong because the gun laws they only punish one side. So anyway, we're gonna get into a little bit on that subject with this video. Because guns are incredibly easy to obtain. I mean, you probably don't even really have to go far or be in a bad neighborhood to end up with a gun in your hand. That's why I say if you have if you don't have any legal mess on your record, if your record is clean enough to get a gun, get your permit to carry, especially if you're black or Mexican or any other color. White, they can get away with it. Black, anything else, anything of color, actually white and Chinese can get away with it. Anything darker than that, you better have your permit, because the first thing they're going to ask you in a gun incident, whether you had the gun or not, you just being around the gun and having something for them to question you about, they looking for a permit. If you are in an incident, you don't normally carry a gun, but you're in an incident, if you're in an incident involving a gun and you're not a carrier of a gun, but you end up having to use somebody else's gun, guess what? Your permit is going to help you out there because you had to use a gun in self-defense. You have a permit for self-defense. It's not your fault that the gun may or may be dirty, but at least you got part of that stuff legal. You ain't going to be taking a hit, because the first thing they're looking at is who had the gun, who used the gun, who handled the gun, who got paperwork. Who got paperwork? You got paperwork? I got paperwork. Multiple states. Do you got paperwork? I know people are going to be like, oh, you talked a whole lot, but this video is short, so I got room to talk right now. Anyway, let's get into it. This is by Vice News. And this video is on 3D printed guns. Because I don't know what y'all think the gun market is doing, but the gun laws ain't working because they're based on people needing to buy guns. You don't need to buy guns. The gun market is going to take a hit because now you can 3D print guns. You can just make this bad boys at home. You don't need nobody to do a machine shop. You don't need nobody with special techniques and skills and yada, yada. You just got to follow directions. Print it right out in plastic. Most guns are plastic anyway. Yeah. The one that was half plastic itself. All right. Let's get this party started. This video is only like 4 minutes long, so y'all ain't gonna be sitting here long. Most of the time we're gonna be on this video is just me talking about getting it going into the guns. But I got another video that gets more into depth after this. So after this, we're gonna get more into making, how people are making the guns. You get to see the process what people go through doing this. But yeah, let's go. Roll them.
What Alfredo Orihuela has in his hands is something that wasn't supposed to be available. It's the parts for a 3D printed gun called the Liberator, one of the designs by Defense Distributed that was scheduled to be released online today, until a judge blocked them with an emergency order. For weeks, lawmakers and pundits have been freaking out about a sudden stockpile of 3D guns.
This is about weapons of war being made in people's living rooms.
Critics are calling it downloadable death. What could possibly go wrong?
But as Orihuela's living room makes clear, the battle...
I want to point out how they put this fear on it, blah, 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 blah. It's downloadable death. Stop. Check the people. Y'all making people crazy. This is why there's so much panic in news. Downloadable death, blah, 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 blah. This is mostly a hobby, honestly.
battle over 3D printed firearms has been over for years.
Where'd you get the blueprints from? I thought they weren't available online.
They are available online, and we're in an era where people can get the latest Drake album or Infinity War at will. To think that you can control or stop the flow of data on the internet, it's absolutely ludicrous.
Orihuela runs a 3D printing company out of his home. He sells printing machines like the one here to schools and maker studios, some for as little as $250.
When you made a Liberator a few years ago, why'd you do it?
I wanted to see what was involved with it. I mean, I love the 3D printing industry. I want to know all I can about it. So I wanted to see for myself, is this a functionable piece?
All the magic that the ATF...
Pretty sharp looking right there. Pretty sharp looking right
loves to regulate happens right in here.
The Liberator was the brainchild of Cody Wilson, a crypto-anarchist and gun enthusiast who released the designs online in 2013. He told me his mission is to...
Damn, he's been doing this since 2013? They ain't stopping it in 2022 and further. 2013, it's got a good head start on... Man, that's a wrap.
show that guns can be manufactured by just about anyone, and to send up a giant middle finger to proponents of gun control. The blueprints for the gun were online for only a few days, before government officials ordered him to take them down. But that was enough. Tens of thousands of copies were downloaded. Thus began a 5-year legal saga that was supposed to end today, until that emergency restraining order.
Should we put one together?
So these pieces were printed in the last 24 hours.
But Orihuela isn't particularly impressed with the quality of Wilson's guns. Neither are gun enthusiasts, which is probably why there aren't stockpiles of 3D guns.
This is the full...
That right there is one of the dangers of doing this. You can't just print one off and expect nothing to happen. It is plastic. This bad boy just popped.
Why there aren't stockpiles of 3D.
This can happen with a regular gun too, but you probably ain't gonna run into it as often as you probably were running into something like this that's been made with like faulty plastic or a cheap machine, or somebody's made something too thin or too soft, or it got too hot. I mean, it is plastic.
3D guns.
This is the fully assembled or semi-assembled Liberator pistol.
I mean, it looks like a gun.
It's like a Nerf gun.
But I mean, it's designed to fire a bullet in theory.
In theory, it is designed to fire a bullet very poorly. It is possible one day that an entry-level, so to speak, machine would be able to produce a functional firearm. Is that in the realm of possibility? Yes. But again, I don't see that as something new. People can make their own firearms. They can make untraceable firearms in a variety of other ways. And
see, it's funny that he would say something like that after something like what happened over in Japan with the guy that made that gun. He didn't have a 3D printer. He made it out of pipes and wood and duct tape. They probably figure some black powder. From what it sounds like, the pipes that he used were stuffed. You know how a shotgun shell is built. You have the shell, the outside, the casing, basically. Then you have the gunpowder, you have the wad, and then you have the BBs. You know, it pushes out. The wad pushes everything out because of the gunpowder. It goes right out the tube. Well, this dude made that out of pipes. He mounted it on some wood. He duct taped it down, and he made it electric. It was electric operated. It was battery powered. He made a battery powered gun. Other than some crazy stuff out of the military, have you ever heard of somebody getting shot with a battery powered gun, let alone assassinating a high figure with a battery powered gun in a country that has some of the absolute strictest laws on guns? Actually, I think he was one of the pioneers of those strict laws that are on guns. See how that worked out for him? Gun laws don't work if a criminal wants to do something. You only punishing the lawful, so help the lawful to defend himself somehow, because according to Supreme Court, you can't call the cops no more because they ain't obligated to help you. Our Supreme Court said they are not obligated. There's nothing in the Constitution saying the police have to protect. So protect yourself, because this world is getting straight stupid. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And 3D printing is simply a new way of making guns. It's not a good way of making guns.
3D technology will dramatically improve in the future, but there are a ton of other ways to legally make an untraceable gun already.
Is everyone kind of freaking out about nothing?
I think they really are. I think it's really being overblown. And believe me, I'm all for gun control, but I do not believe that it is something that should bleed over into this industry right now. The average person is not innovating and creating firearms for nefarious purposes. It's assuming everybody's a criminal.
Well, that ended abruptly. All right, so yeah, his 3D gun looked just like the one I have too, so check it out. This gun, of course, is empty. You know, there's nothing in it. It's just for show. But this is a little gun from Warhammer 40K. Clip goes right here, you know, put the magazine in. Bang, 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 bang. People are starting to print, and this is 3D printed too. People are starting to print their unique designs. There's actual gun makers out there making new guns that the ATF has no idea about. Come across a couple of them. They're pretty badass. They like dragons and stuff that you would find on like Rogue Company for like the Battle Pass. Rogue Company is a shooting game, so. All right, but our next video is going to go way more into depth into a plastic gun printing convention type of deal. I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's a large get-together of a bunch of people that print guns that actually work. You know, they have a contest and all this other stuff. It's a good video. So come back for the next one. We're gonna keep them popping. I'm grounded right now because the car needs work done. I can't do my deliveries and stuff, so I'm gonna be making videos till Wednesday, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna make something happen. Oh, I got cobweb on my camera. See, that's a sign right there. Shoot more videos. All right, I'm Aquarian OG. I'm getting the hell up out of here to do some more work. About to go live over on Twitch. So listen out, I guess. Follow me, I'm Aquarian OG over on Twitch as well. Same name. Yeah, I'm out of here. Deuces on the flips. Let me get this bad boy posted. Peace.
She's bad.